Just before COVID, we traveled in Canada for 2 weeks, Canadian Rockies in winter, and that was extraordinary. Probably one of the best tours that we could do in our lifetime, I guess. In April, that was just before summer, it was white winter in Canada, and we traveled across Canadian Rockies for a week, and hope you will enjoy it, and that will be a fascinating, epic journey. Welcome to our Canadian Rockies series. Embark on an immersive journey through the Canadian Rockies with us, where towering peaks, pristine lakes, and sprawling wilderness await exploration. In this series, we'll unveil the region's geographical marvels, cultural heritage, and adventurous pursuits that have captivated travelers for centuries. In this episode, our planned route through the Canadian Rockies covered nearly 683 kilometers over a 9 hours drive. This was an organized bus tour for a week, with several stops and overnight stay at various spectacular locations across 5 different Canadian national parks. Our first stop was at a small town called Hope. The historic town of Hope, a charming community nestled in the Fraser Valley. Hope used to be a gold rush town, and in recent time, it has got transformed into a haven for outdoor enthusiasts, offering hiking, fishing, and wildlife viewing opportunities. We had just about enough time to explore amazing woodcraft and artcraft scattered around the Hope Town Centre before continuing our epic journey through the famous Coquihalla Pass. Our next stop was at the Kelowna, another small town in the Canadian Rockies. Paula was our tour guide for the whole journey, and she was amazing. In this video, we kept some of Paula's original narrations, although it was a bit noisy, but we wanted to keep her original narrations so that it can be part of our memory as well.
Some of you have already seen, we've got some beautiful sights here on our right, even on our left sometimes when the trees break. We're on the Coquihalla right now. Can everyone say Coquihalla? Coquihalla! It's like, you know, Coca-Cola and then holla. Coquihalla, guys. If you can spell Coquihalla at the end of this tour, I will give you a prize, okay? I'm going to spell it once for you, so listen up. Coquihalla. Coquihalla. That's right. Steady up, guys. Coquihalla, guys, one of the most dangerous highways when you're going to and from the Rocky Mountains. But it was a really important highway to build because without this, it would take an extra 75 kilometers to get to where we're going. So this cut right through, saved a lot of time. The government will not officially tell us how much money it costs because they're embarrassed, but it's somewhere in around $800 million. Yeah, it's really long. It took a long time to build as well, over a decade, but it's a beautiful place to go because as you can see, you get the best view of all the mountains here.
Navigating the awe-inspiring Coquihalla Pass, a mountain corridor renowned for its engineering marvels and scenic grandeur, ascending through rugged terrain and winding highways that offer panoramic views of the surrounding peaks and valleys. It was an amazing ride through the Canadian Rockies.
Next we have Cascade and Columbia mountain chain, which is it's very hard to distinguish which one is Columbia or Cascade without looking at it from like a helicopter point of view. But basically those will go all the way down to the US and they look like this. They're beautiful, but they are prone to avalanches. So in this highway and in a couple other highways we're gonna hit, you guys are gonna see areas that looks like a ski hill. You're like, whoa, why is there a ski hill all the way in the middle of nowhere? Please don't ski that. That's not a ski hill. That is an avalanche zone. Avalanches will start and they will tear down trees on the way down, and then it kind of looks like a ski hill. The beautiful Okanagan Lake. Gorgeous, huh? It is huge. Very, very long. Not very wide, actually. Less than a kilometer wide. So it's kind of interesting. It's almost like a pencil. And right through it cuts Kelowna, where we're gonna go. So half of Kelowna is in the east side, called East Kelowna. That's where downtown and all the good stuff is. And
We had a short stop at the vibrant city of Kelowna, situated in the heart of the Okanagan Valley. Famous for its thriving wine industry, boasting over 40 wineries producing world-class vintages amid stunning vineyard landscape. Bustling streets and waterfront promenades of Kelowna town, where culinary delight, artisanal art crafts converge to create a vibrant urban tapestry. From Kelowna, we continue towards Coquihalla Park. Coquihalla Park, a lakeside sanctuary embraced by lush forest and crystal clear waters. We had a photo stop at this beautiful location. Next phase of the journey to Salmon Arm was equally stunning. It was a scenic journey to Salmon Arm, a charming lakeside community nestled at the head of Shuswap Lake. Salmon Arm's history dates back to thousands of years, initially inhabited by the First Nation people, who thrived on the region's natural resources. The area's name likely originated from the large runs of salmon that once populated these local rivers. Today, Salmon Arm maintained its importance as a transportation hub and a center for tourism across the Rockies. Next up was Craig Lake, the famous site for the last spike of the Canadian Pacific Railway. This railway stretches across Canada, connecting the eastern provinces with the western provinces, and played a significant role in country's development and expansion during the late 19th and early 20th centuries. The length of the Canadian Pacific Railway, in short CPR, one of Canada's major transcontinental rail lines, approximately 4,800 kilometers long. The last spike, often referred to as the Golden Spike or the Iron Spike, was a symbolic gesture to celebrate the completion of the railway. Made of gold, silver and iron, the spike was ceremoniously driven into a pre-drill hole in the railway tie by Donald Smith, a director of the CPR, using a silver hammer. The event took place on November 7, 1885 in Craiglakey, the location where we are today, and we visited a historic monument commemorating this monumental feat of engineering and national unity of Canada. The last spike of Canadian Pacific Railway (CPR) holds significant historical importance as it symbolizes the completion of Canada's fast transcontinental railway, linking the eastern and western parts of the country. Final stop of the night was at the Quoit Lodge. Journey to the Quoit Lodge at the end of the day was spectacular. The Quoit Lodge, a hidden gem nestled on the shore of Little Shuswap Lake, also known as the Quoit Lodge and Spa at Talking Rock Golf Resort, is a prominent Indigenous owned and operated resort. The lodge takes its name Quoit from the local Aboriginal language, meaning talking rock. It reflects the rich cultural heritage of the region and the importance of oral traditions in local Indigenous communities. Hope you enjoyed this long day driving through the Canadian Rockies with us. This was just the beginning. In the next episode, we will be traveling to the famous Lake Louise, covering many more spectacular spots. Hello and welcome to the second episode of our epic journey through the Canadian Rockies. Quoit Lodge was great, and we started very early in the morning as another long day ahead of us, nearly covering 400 kilometers. As a journey, this was epic, and this time onwards, you get to see and feel the real beauty of Canadian Rockies. What a wonderful scenery this part of the world has to offer. The route from Quoit Lodge to Lake Louise in Canada takes you through some of the incredible sceneries and scenic areas, including mountainous terrains. We traveled through 4 national parks on this day: Revelstoke National Park, Glacier National Park, Yoho National Park, and Banff National Park. Can you remember all of these? Mount Revelstoke National Park offers beautiful alpine scenery, old-growth rainforests, and opportunities for hiking and wildlife viewing. Whereas Glacier National Park is on the route from Quoit Lodge to Lake Louise, particularly if you are traveling along the Trans-Canadian Highway. The park is known for its rugged mountain landscapes, dense forests, and challenging hiking trails. We had a stop at a town called Golden. It was a fascinating spot. Golden is located between Glacier National Park to the west and Yoho National Park to the east. Situated at the confluence of the Kicking Horse River and the Columbia River, Golden is surrounded by stunning mountain ranges, including the Canadian Rockies and the Purcell Mountains. This was in the heart of Canadian Rockies. The mountainous terrain and the region's elevation contributed to the breathtakingly beautiful views. Along the route from Coquihalla Lodge to Lake Louise, we encountered several tunnels, particularly if we are traveling on the Trans-Canadian Highway. The tunnels help vehicles pass through the rugged terrain of Rogers Pass, providing a safe and more efficient way to travel through these mountains, especially during winter when snowfall can be heavy and avalanches are a concern. Please follow Paulo's narration for this small part of this video.
Yeah, we got this, guys. Yeah, look at the snow on that one. See, look how much it protects. This all could have been on the road. All right, ready? Okay, I wasn't ready for that one. See, look at the right. Look at this avalanche here. Crazy. And this can come down in like 2 seconds. So the snow sheds really do a great job in very avalanche prone areas to cover that section of the highway so that the avalanche just goes over top of it, and the glaciers usually will be formed on like in crevices of mountains and the little index.
We continued our journey to the east of Golden. After Golden, sceneries were equally fascinating up until Lake Louise, where lies Yoho National Park in British Columbia. Yoho is celebrated for its dramatic landscapes, including towering waterfalls, pristine alpine lakes, and stunning mountain peaks. It was like a wonderland. Lake Louise is a stunning alpine lake located in Banff National Park in Alberta, Canada. Lake Louise is not only a popular tourist destination but also holds significant ecological and cultural value as part of Banff National Park, a UNESCO World Heritage Site. It is renowned for its turquoise blue water, surrounded by towering snow-capped peaks, making it one of the most iconic and photographed destinations in Canadian Rockies. Look at this video. Lake Louise is so different in the summer. In contrast, in the winter, we could walk along the lake. It was just a mesmerizing experience. During the winter months, the lake freezes over, providing a magical setting for ice skating. The cleared ice rink offers visitors a unique opportunity to skate surrounded by snow-covered peaks. While we were walking, we could also put our feet into the snow, and look at this, we could touch the water. The layer of the snow was thick enough to walk on it, but if you stand and push hard, you can touch the water beneath. Overlooking the lake is the iconic Fairmont Chateau Lake Louise, a luxury hotel that offers accommodations, dining, and breathtaking view of the lake and surrounding mountains. We had a couple of relaxing hours in the serenity of these mountains and Lake Louise. This offered a memorable experience for us. This was an unbelievable experience. We continued our journey from Lake Louise towards Banff, and we ended our day in the afternoon at Banff. As we departed Lake Louise, we were treated to breathtaking views of the towering peaks of the Rockies, including iconic landmarks like Mount Temple and Castle Mountain. The journey typically took around 55 minutes. Hello and welcome to the third episode of our epic journey through Canadian Rockies. In this episode, we'll be traveling from Lake Louise to beautiful Banff, before traveling from Banff along the famous Bow Lake, on our way to the spectacular Columbia Icefields in the Jasper National Park. The journey from Lake Louise to Banff is a picturesque drive along the Trans-Canadian Highway. Banff National Park, located in the Canadian Rockies of Alberta, is renowned for its stunning landscapes, majestic mountains, and abundant wildlife. Banff National Park, established in 1885, is Canada's oldest national park and one of the most visited tourist destinations in the country. It encompasses over 6,600 square kilometers of pristine wilderness, including towering mountains, turquoise lakes, dense forests, and glaciers. The park is home to a diverse range of wildlife: famous grizzly bears, black bears, elk, moose, deer, wolves, and mountain goats. Banff National Park is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, recognized for its outstanding natural beauty and ecological significance. Exploring Banff will be one of the most picturesque moments on our journey through the Canadian Rockies. The town of Banff, located within the national park, was named after Banffshire, Scotland, the birthplace of two of the park's early directors. Banff offers visitors numerous opportunities for outdoor adventure and exploration. One of the highlights is reaching the summit of Sulphur Mountain, which overlooks the town of Banff. In the afternoon, when we arrived at Banff and approaching Banff town centre, there was a spectacular mountain looking at us. That was Sulphur Mountain. It was extraordinary. Visitors can hike to the summit via the Sulphur Mountain Trail or take the Banff Gondola, a scenic cableway that provides breathtaking views of the surrounding mountains and valleys. We took the gondola, and that was a spectacular experience that we couldn't imagine that was awaiting for us. The Banff Gondola is a popular attraction that transports visitors from the base of the Sulphur Mountain to the summit in just 8 minutes. At the top, visitors can enjoy panoramic views of Banff town, the Bow Valley, and the surrounding mountain ranges. It was heavenly. From the summit, we could see the whole area. The 360-degree view was completely surrounded by snow-capped mountains. It was stunning.
I sat on the roof and kicked off the moss with a few of the verses they went and got me quite cross.
That was a breathtaking experience. We spent a couple of hours at the summit before coming down on the same ropeway. In the evening, strolling through Banff's charming city centre is a delightful experience that encapsulates the unique blend of natural beauty and vibrant culture that defines this mountain town. No visit to Banff would be complete without indulging you in one of Canada's most beloved treats, BeaverTails. Yes, it is called BeaverTails. This iconic pastry, stretched and shaped to resemble a beaver's tail, are fried to golden perfection and topped with an irresistible array of sweet toppings. The lady at the shop was very kind to give us a bit of extra topping because as soon as she learned that we were first time in Banff. The next morning, we embarked on a scenic drive along the breathtaking Bow Lake. Get ready, immerse ourselves in the natural splendor of the Canadian Rockies once again. The journey from Banff to Bow Lake is a picturesque adventure filled with awe-inspiring vistas and a captivating landscape at every turn. As we made our way along the winding mountain roads, we couldn't resist pausing at several scenic viewpoints to capture the awe-inspiring beauty of the surrounding wilderness. Bow Lake is fed by melting glacier of the Columbia Icefield, which loom majestically above its northern shoreline. It was a difficult walk to the lakeside. Our feet were going into the snow heavily, and we almost couldn't walk. It was just a spectacular experience. Its serene beauty and panoramic views make it a popular stop for travelers exploring the region. Each stop offered a new perspective, with towering peaks, sprawling lakes covered with snow and ice, and dense forests stretching as far as the eye could see. Wintertime, it was like a wonderland. Situated along the Icefield Parkway, Bow Lake is easily accessible from Banff and Jasper National Park. It's important to respect the land and its heritage as you explore these sacred landscapes. Bow Lake holds cultural significance for Indigenous peoples, including the Stoney Nakoda and Blackfoot nations, who have inhabited this region for thousands of years. As we soaked into the tranquility of Bow Lake and marveled at its natural wonders, we couldn't help but feel a profound sense of awe and reverence for the untamed beauty of Canadian Rockies. With memories captured in photographs and hearts filled with the wonder, our journey along the Bow Lake was an unforgettable experience that will stay with us forever. I hope you are enjoying it immensely. Don't miss the next episode of our amazing journey through Canadian Rockies. In the next episode, we will be walking on the Athabasca Glacier and the famous Columbia Icefields. That will be a fascinating half-an-hour walk on the Canadian Icefields. Hello and welcome to the fourth episode of our epic journey through the Canadian Rockies. I hope that you are enjoying this extraordinary journey through the Canadian Rockies in the winter time. In the last episode, we covered our journey from Banff to Bow Lake. That was just spectacular, wonderful. In this episode, we'll be traveling to the spectacular Columbia Icefields in the Jasper National Park, and we walked on the Athabasca Glacier and the Columbia Icefield for 30 minutes. In the majestic Jasper National Park, we embark on a journey to witness the breathtaking beauty of the Columbian Icefields. Nestled among the towering peaks of the Canadian Rockies, this frozen wonderland holds within its awe-inspiring Athabasca Glacier and timeless masterpiece shaped by force of nature. Look at these giant vehicles. One of them will be taking us to the top of the Athabasca Glacier, to the middle of the icefield, where the ice thickness is about 100 meters. The Columbia Icefields are a breathtaking expanse of ice and snow. These icefields are one of the largest accumulation of ice and snow south of Arctic Circle, covering an area of about 325 square kilometers of ice and snow. This is the Columbia Icefields on Google Earth, and this grey area is the path to the center of the glacier or the icefields. Our journey started from the visitor center on this driveway towards the White Glacier. We recorded our guide's voice as he was explaining many aspects of this spectacular journey which otherwise impossible to know. So please listen to these narrations as we go along.
There's 12 months of rain over there.
These trees on our left-hand side will be the last trees we'll see for the next hour or so. Past this point in elevation, the weather conditions are far too harsh for these trees to grow in, as well the soil has a very low nutrient content. In other parts of the world, they will grow past this point in elevation, but in most parts of the world, the climate would be much warmer, and the soil would have a higher nutrient content. We do have different mosses, plants, and lichens that will grow up in the alpine region. Most of the plants are perennials, so they're not annuals. They are self-seeding. They return each year. And it can take up to 10 years for one of these plants to bloom just one flower, and up to 20 years for them to bloom multiple flowers. And then we have lots of different mammals up in the alpine and subalpine region. Some bigger mammals more commonly seen are mountain goats and bighorn sheep. And then a lot of different smaller mammals like marmots, pikas, Columbian ground squirrels. So these vehicles are designed to go up and down this moraine every day with ease. They can handle up to a 36% grade or 18 degrees. This is only about a 32% grade or 15 degrees. So we could go even steeper than this if we had to, and I have many times before. This is probably the best condition I've seen the road in the 3 seasons I've been here. So we have a couple of features helping us down right now. We have the option between 4 and 6-wheel drive, so I do have the 6-wheel drive engaged. As well, we have what's called a transmission lockup feature or an engine retarder. It's very similar to downshifting in a manual car. It kind of slows the revolutions of the tires to match the speed of the engine. So it uses the engine as a brake. So I'm not applying the brakes whatsoever right now. The engine is doing all the work. So we first started using these Ice Explorers in 1981. The generation of Ice Explorers we used before these were made by a company out of Quebec called Bombardier. They were great machines, but the problem was they had tracks instead of tires, so those tracks tended to chew up the ice, do some damage to the glacier. So Brewster wanted a vehicle that was going to have less impact on the glacier, so they contacted a company out of Calgary, Alberta called Foremost. They specialize in making mining and oil field equipment. This is what they came up with for us. So each one of these tires is kept at a very low air pressure. About half the pressure of your average car tire in between 12 and 18 psi. This not only helps with traction, as well as helps minimize our impact on the glacier. So back in 1981, these ice explorers cost about $350,000. Now they're worth about $1.3 million. Each one of these tires costs about $5,000, so we're sitting on about 30 grand for the rubber right now. And replace them every few years. So this bus we're in right now was the first bus to get refurbished back in 2012. I would say it's the fastest in the fleet, so we get more time on the glacier. There's 24 of these ice explorers ever made. 22 of them operate right here on the Athabasca Glacier. The other 2 are located way down in Antarctica. They've been modified to carry research equipment for the US military, and this past year the Australian military purchased one. So guys, if you can believe it, we are driving on roughly about 100 meters of ice right now, even though it looks like rock and dirt. So this is known as ice core moraine. So as the glaciers receded, it has pulled a lot of dirt and rock onto its edge, and this acts as an insulator. So it insulates the ice underneath, so it melts at a much slower rate than the rest of the glacier, as you can see. So this pool of water we're driving through, we call this our tire wash. Slightly redirected our glacial meltwater runoff streams to pull up at the bottom here and wash the dirt off our tires. The reason we do this, we want to help minimize the amount of dirt we bring up on the glacier, because darker surfaces like dirt absorb more of the energy produced by the sun or attract more sunlight than lighter surfaces. A very common question is, if we minimize the amount of dirt we bring up here, why does the glacier still look dirty? So this is common for all glaciers worldwide, and it's due to what's known as cryokinite, which is basically fine CO2 particles from the atmosphere, like ash, bacteria, carbon, other airborne pollutants. They get trapped in the form of snow. So snow does need a particle to grab onto before it will form. So it grabs onto these airborne pollutants and settles on the glacier as it snows. And then as the snow melts, it all kind of concentrates itself on that top layer of ice. So both these mill wells and crevasses can be covered up by snow bridges. So in the winter months, snow will blow across them and create a fine layer of ice and snow, basically hiding the dangers underneath. So we have picked a very safe place for you guys to explore, but we do have a plowed area, and beyond that plowed area, we don't know where those mill wells and crevasses can be covered up. And so please, for your own safety, guys, stay within the boundaries.
As we step on the glacier, surrounded by huge mountains and icy landscapes, we felt the chilly air. It was very cold. It was extremely cold. Each step we take is like walking through history, as the glacier holds stories of the past. Crunching through the snow, we were surrounded by towering walls of ice, making us feel small in comparison. Obviously, we were standing on a 100-meter thick ice layer. There were some areas marked too dangerous, so you can't really walk on those areas. As the driver was explaining, they found a very stable area for us to come and walk on the glacier and the ice field. And they can only tell. You will never know where the danger lies. We felt a complete satisfaction and fulfillment of life. Although it was very cold and very murky, and it was becoming very foggy as well, that gives us a very peaceful feeling. I think this is what we live for, and we live for these beautiful moments. It was time to say goodbye to the glacier, the ice fields, but the memories will stay with us forever. It has been a simple yet unforgettable experience in nature's icy kingdom. After all these natural wonders, we still had another one stop to make. Next, we visited Mount Robson before spending the night at a motel near Mount Robson. Mount Robson, towering at 3,954 meters, is the highest peak in the Canadian Rockies and is located within the Mount Robson Provincial Park in British Columbia. It stands as a majestic sentinel, its snow-capped summit often shrouded in clouds, creating an awe-inspiring sight for travelers and mountaineers alike. It was a perfect setting for photo shots, and we had ample opportunities to take some photos because we were staying at the nearby hotel. Hope you enjoyed this episode because this was the pivotal moment, the best moment in this Rockies tour. Walking on these glaciers, these ice fields were just mesmerizing. So please don't miss out our next episode of this epic journey through Canadian Rockies, where for the first time we will be meeting a grizzly bear. And we spent an amazing time at a Canadian ranch called Willow Ranch, our first visit to a North American ranch, and you will be able to experience the ranch life. Hello and welcome to the 5th episode of our epic journey through the Canadian Rockies. I hope you are enjoying this extraordinary travel with us. In this episode, for the first time, we'll be meeting a grizzly bear, and we spent an amazing time at Willow Ranch, our first visit to a North American ranch. Exploring ranch life will be amazing. We also visited two spectacular waterfalls in Rockies, Spahat Falls and Helmcken Falls, before driving back through the extraordinary Coquihalla Pass to Vancouver. Get ready for this last stretch of our epic Canadian Rocky series. We were told that there are only a few hundreds of grizzly bears are known to be present in the Canadian Rockies. So probabilistically, we had no chance of sighting one from our running bus. But we were so lucky, as one of them was waiting for us at the roadside. Even so, golden or light coloration of grizzly bears is very rare. It was a momentous moment. We visited Willow Ranch next. This was our first experience of any ranch. Willow Ranch offers a quintessential Western experience with its rustic charm, warm hospitality, and lively atmosphere. The ranch creates an authentic Western ambience, complete with wooden cabins, a welcoming lodge, and wide open spaces, perfect for outdoor activities. At Willow Ranch, guests are treated to a mouth-watering feast inspired by traditional ranch cuisine. We had a mega barbecue dinner, and everything was cooked on open fire. That was amazing. In the heart of Canadian countryside, Willow Ranch boasts sprawling acres of picturesque landscapes adorned with rolling hills, lush greenery, and majestic trees. We took part in a variety of classic Western games that evoke the spirit of frontier life. From horseshoe tossing and sack races, these activities add an element of fun and nostalgic to the ranch experience. We're really enjoying all these games. We tried our luck, but felt we needed years of practice to succeed in any of these ranch games. As the sun sets over the rugged landscape, the air comes alive with the soul-stirring melodies of Canadian ranch music. But due to copyright issues, we replaced those songs with some Western ranch-style music, just to give you the authentic vibe. From lively folk tunes and foot-stomping jigs to haunting ballads steeped in tradition, the music captures the essence of the Canadian West and sets the stage for an unforgettable evening of rivalry. Orunima had a more enthusiastic dancing experience than me, as I struggled to dance. Willow Ranch offered a magical retreat where guests can escape the hustle and bustle of modern life. While we travel across Canadian Rockies, we're always wondering how people used to live all these years ago in these rugged mountains and these terrains. And Willow Ranch offered a magical experience of that type of historical lifestyle that people used to live in the Western time. Next we visited Spahat Falls. Spahat Falls cascades gracefully down rugged cliffs in Willow Provincial Park. Its waters tumble over ancient volcanic rocks, creating a mesmerizing display of natural beauty. We were captivated by the thunderous roar of the falls and the misty spray that fills the air, making it a picturesque spot for nature enthusiasts and photographers alike. Next we went to the Helmcken Falls. Helmcken Falls stands tall and proud, plunging dramatically into the depth of a rocky canyon in Willow Provincial Park. Its thundering water plummet over 140 meters, creating a mesmerizing spectacle of mist and spray. We were awed by the sheer power and grandeur of Helmcken Falls, making it a must-see attraction for nature lovers and adventurers exploring the rugged beauty of British Columbia and Canadian Rockies. Leaving behind the thundering cascade of Helmcken Falls, our journey southward towards Vancouver unveiled a tapestry of natural wonders and scenic vistas. Venturing onto the legendary Coquihalla Pass once again, we find ourselves ascending into the majestic coast mountains. The highway winds through narrow valleys and steep mountain passes, offering panoramic views of snow-capped peaks and alpine meadows stretching as far as the eye can see.
Our hearts beat to the city streets. We began to feel the fire. We rise like tall buildings as the chemicals, they take us higher. The night's young and it's just begun as she puts her hand in mine. We wanna chase the night. Wanna dance to the light. Pull the stars from the sky.
When we arrived in Kamloops, that time onwards, it was mostly greenery until we arrived back in Vancouver. Change in the scenery from white to green explained that we have came down a massive altitude. What a journey this was, an epic week-long journey through the majestic Canadian Rockies. Don't miss our next and last mystery episode of this epic journey through Canadian Rockies. Thanks for watching our travel videos. Stay safe and stay tuned.